Just getting whipped up a little bit more into a bit of hysteria because Declan Rice, leader on the pitch, and of course a fan's favourite, has joined us in the studio. Declan, great to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's going on in that dressing room right now?
Yeah, it's chaos. I don't think you can underestimate what we've done in this competition up to this point, and I think we had every right to celebrate that moment. It's such a big moment, Champions League final, the most prestigious tournament in club football. So, it's a proud moment for the boys, for the club, and we're just trying to soak it all in.
It's been building and building, hasn't it? 5 years out of the competition, a quarter-final your first year back, semi-final last year. The pain and hurt from getting close last year, how much was that channeled into that performance tonight?
Yeah, look, we knew coming into the game, we knew coming into the game what was at stake. You win and you go into a Champions League final, and if you can't get up for that, then you can't get up for any game of football. Fans really helped tonight, really spurred us on, just give us that energy. And once we went 1-0 up, I knew we was going to win. I just felt it. When you feel something special building. It was just such a good moment to be out there tonight.
Well, Theo helped a little bit actually. We'll just show you this pre-match.
No, I didn't. What did you say?
He was whipping them up, Declan. Pre-match, so you know where it all came from. You know who the conductor was.
You was loving that, weren't you?
I was loving it, not as much as you. But I mean, can I just ask the feeling? We talk about feelings throughout a season, but your partner in crime next to you today, Miles Lewis-Skelly. What an incredible performance from him. Of course, he had a great one at the weekend, but how impressed have you been with him?
We've always known what Miles can do. I remember last year when he played so many games, when he stepped up at Real Madrid away in the Bernabeu at 18, that's when I really thought, wow, we have a player. And our manager this year has been tough on him behind the scenes. He's not played as much as he would have wanted, but what I've noticed with him is that he's actually kept his head down and worked so hard. And I'm not just saying that, he does everything right every day, in early, training, gym. Now he's got his chance, and look, he's ready, he's taken it, and to be thrown in at the deep end in the Champions League semi-final and perform how he did is no surprise to me. He's so good.
Dec, you'd mentioned just then you feel like something special is born. By the way, I know you was in the dressing room dancing and stuff. I could tell by the look in your eyes right now. I can see it. Am I right?
Yeah, you was right. It was going off. It was going off.
I knew. But let me ask the question, right? So you said something special was building. Can you define that?
Yeah, I think just where this club's come from over the last few years and what we've been building, them narrow losses that we've had in the Premier League, going out of cup competitions, things that hurt you as a player, and I think the manager's taken full control. We've kept building, we've kept adding good quality to the squad, we've kept pushing each other, and in this competition and in the Premier League, we've gone full throttle, and we find ourselves in a very good position with less than a month to go. So look, it's all to play for. Just got to stay composed and focus. It's a tough one because we're into the Champions League final, but Sunday now is, it's a massive one as well. So we've got to focus on that too.
Can we talk a bit about you personally? Because pre-match we had a lovely film. It's about 6 minutes of a bit of an origin story of you actually going right back to Grey Court School. We had Dan Slocum in there, Mark Noble talking about you as well and your development and how impressed they were, how you reacted to setbacks along the way. You go back to that City game when you sat on the ground, you said it's not over. How much of this have you taken on yourself to make sure this team knows how far it can go this year?
Yeah, I think I'm a strong believer in knowing what this team's capable of. I think after that City game, it wasn't a title-defining game in my opinion. We lost, we didn't want to lose, but it definitely wasn't done. And that wasn't just my mentality, that was the players' mentality as well. And that's why I said to Martin, just trying to cheer everyone up, because it wasn't a moment to be down, it was a moment to realise that there's still 5 games and to keep pushing. And like you said, I've had a lot of setbacks, so I feel like over the years I've had good people guide me as well. Family, like you said, Mark Noble there has been one of the best people for me. I can speak to him all the time about advice and how to get through things. So yeah, I think I take that on really well. But yeah, a long way to go.
Yeah, well, I think Clarence, you want to come in, don't you, with a question?
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful to see you smile and enjoy this moment.
Thank you.
Your leadership has been very important for this team. For the next 5 matches, what can we expect from Arsenal?
4.
Is it 4?
It's 4.
Why is 4?
3 left in the league in the final.
Oh, it's the final, so it's 4. Okay, 4 matches.
I think you can expect the same as the last 3 performances. Atletico away, Fulham, and tonight. I think we've kind of turned the corner again. We went for a stage where we wasn't performing at our best. We was getting results, in April, as we know, we didn't win as many games as we had wanted, and we was a bit sloppy in our play, but I think we found a new way of playing again. Players rotating, moving around, feeling free. Last 3 games have been really good. And yeah, when you've got confidence in football, that's everything. And heading into the business end of the season now, going into every game, we're going to be ready, and I know everyone's focused. I can tell you that.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. However, I feel like you're ready to play anyone. Will you be watching tomorrow night thinking it doesn't matter, we play in the final?
Yeah, I think you have to watch tomorrow night just because of the spectacle that it was last week. It was incredible to watch. So many great, unbelievable players on show. So yeah, I'll give it a watch and see what happens. And it's the Champions League final. You've all played in them. So yeah, may the best team win, whoever gets there.
And you've spoken about Mark Noble. It is West Ham at the weekend. They're in a very different predicament to you, but you're in an Arsenal shirt, obviously, so you can't be worrying about them. But you do have a place in your heart for that club.
Oh, yeah, it's a club that give me everything. Without West Ham, there's no me. And I honestly believe that. They give me a chance when Chelsea didn't. And a lot of people there really did push me on. Moisey, Slaven Bilic, Pellegrini made me captain. Loads of good things about that club. It's not nice to see the position they're in, but like you said, it's football, and I have a job to do on Sunday. We're trying to win a Premier League title, and yeah, it's the business end of the season, so we want to win every game, and I'm sure they're going to want to win every game too. So yeah, may the best team win.
Well, I'm sure you'll be buzzing tonight, but try and get some sleep, and best of luck for the rest of the season. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Declan Rice, as always, as you'd expect, a great chat with the man who is such a leader on the pitch for this team. And you're going for breakfast with somebody he knows quite well, aren't you, tomorrow?
No.
No, you're not. Okay. We won't. We're not allowed to say where you go for breakfast tomorrow.
No.
No, okay. But let's just talk about England, because he will be very important for England in the summer, won't he?
Yeah, no, of course he is. And I think he's one of the players who, for England, there's probably himself, Pickford and Harry Kane, who are going to play if they're fit. So he's the same for England as he is here. He's a leader for England. What I love, even today, when he's driving forward the ball, he's got so many different attributes to his game, and he can switch it up if he needs to play in a holding midfield role or a more advanced role. He can switch his game up. So we were talking earlier about when he said he was a CDM, and so many times now midfield players are almost putting a title on them, which he can just play as a whole midfield player, or he can just play as a number 10, where he's got a bit of everything, all-round game. So he's so important for England in the summer.
While we're talking England, because I'm sure Thomas Tuchel will have had his eyes all over that game, because there were 5 England players starting for Arsenal tonight. Is it too late, Miles Lewis-Skelly, do you think, with the in-out season that he's had? He's not played as much football as he would have liked. He was so important to Thomas at the beginning.
It's never too late. Never too late for any player to get in the England squad. And I think the manager will have certainties in his mind, and then there'll be maybes, and the maybes to fight to the very end. You know what I mean? There's always a spot available for someone who he believes has a particular skill set. And we saw tonight, he gives them diversity, whether he plays left back or he plays in midfield. And the performance he put in today, I think, was absolutely incredible. And if he continues to do that over the next 4 games, we could be seeing his name in that squad for sure.
Could have timed it just right.
Perfection.
Okay. Let's hear from the manager, shall we? Mikel Arteta is with Gabriel Clark.
Mikel, many congratulations. How do you sum up tonight for the club and for you and for this group of players?
Well, it's an amazing night to live this kind of moments with our people, our players, everybody at the club. It's just an incredible feeling. It makes sense, a lot of the things that we do and we go through when you just see so many happy faces and so many people proud of what we are doing. And it was unbelievable right from the beginning. The manner that our supporters waited for us outside the stadium, the energy, the passion that they put in, it was just great to witness.
It would be fair to say that tonight the supporters rose to the occasion, set the tone.
Absolutely. I think they set the standards and we tried to catch up with them immediately. And it's so good after so many years to give that joy back to them and see that pride in their eyes is beautiful to watch.
So many players were involved tonight. Maximum subs off the bench, all to make an impact. What pleased you most?
again, the togetherness, it was very difficult to make certain decisions, and I feel a lot for the boys because I know generally how good people they are, and some of them, I talked to them this afternoon, I said, I apologize, I'm going to play the same team, and the reaction immediately is, boss, I'm here when you need me, I'm going to be right with the team, and give me a hug, so what else do I want?
Bukayo Saka, we said it yesterday, he was in your very first team when you were Arsenal manager, Boxing Day 2019. Was there, of all the guys, a more fitting match winner?
But it had to be someone very special, and he certainly is someone very special with me, for the boys, and for everybody attached to this club. So if you had to be someone scoring that goals, probably it had to be him.
That defeat at Manchester City when Declan Rice said it's not done yet feels like an awful long time ago.
It does, but that's the twists and turns of elite sports and football in particular, and you have to be at it because you never know what the next moment opportunity is going to bring to you.
So what have you changed then in terms of tweaks, and maybe that tactically the ball quickly forward to Gyökeres? Would that be fair to say? He's more involved. What have you done? Well, give yourself a bit of credit, maybe.
No, we're constantly trying to improve and evolve ourselves, and I'm very critical with myself as well. And I think obviously when certain players start to be involved and available, it makes such a difference.
What about Victor Gyökeres tonight?
He was immense, and you could see the reaction of the crowd every time he was holding the ball there. I mean, his war rate, what he's giving the team, is just incredible.
And 30th clean sheet of the season. A lot is said about attack. We saw it last week, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich. What about this team's defence?
It's immense. I mean, you talk about Gyökeres, yeah. So he's the first one to set the tone, the rhythm, and the habits that he shows when we don't have it. And that's a team effort, and everybody deserves credit for that.
They say attack wins matches, but defence wins titles.
Let's go for it then.
Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
They are going for it. They're going for it still on two fronts. And what will this do to the other front, to the Premier League, the next three matches? Do you think, this performance tonight?
Yeah, of course it'll give them belief, and but I think they know that. I think you can see a team who believe in themselves, and they know they're ready to go and win titles. And I said this a few weeks back. I thought they'd win the Premier League and the Champions League, and they put themselves in a hell of a position to go and do that.
They have. Theo, do you care who they face in that final? Declan's obviously going to enjoy the spectacle tomorrow night, he said.
Do I care? Look, I mean, if you're playing against the European champions of last year, PSG, with the attacking force and the attributes that they have, it's going to be a difficult game. It's going to be a difficult game anyway, regardless. However, just they're different. Arsenal, they kind of can mix it up. Clarence spoke about him, that they really want to enjoy defending, and that's a different side that PSG wouldn't have witnessed against before. So look, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow night? It might be a really entertaining game. I'm pretty sure it will be. However, I don't care really who they face. I really don't.
When you want to win the Champions League, you need to be able to beat anybody. So I wouldn't be worrying too much if I were them. Self-belief comes with that as well. I do have to say something about Arteta. I mean, he made a substitution with 3 players. I think that was all planned for. Like, that is confidence in your team. And that is something that I think they should really take with them. Any player that can come up will deliver.
Yeah, for me, I think out of the two, stylistically, I think they match better with PSG, personally. Just because they're a very physical team, and I think they could cause probably more problems for PSG physically. But to everyone's point, you know, you've got to beat every team. It's just, would you prefer to have a slightly easier game? Absolutely. You know what I mean? And I think that in a final, it's always going to be tense. You're going to be playing against world-class players. You're going to have to deliver. You have to stay concentrated the whole game. Whoever they get, you know, I'm going to be sitting there watching, excited, and hoping for an amazing game.
Do you think he knows his team already? Like now, after today?
Well, not if the way he reacted to Saturday would tell you that he's picking on form, is he not, at the moment? He's picking the players.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't plan your team with 4 games to go. You've got to go game by game.
Maybe for the final.
And be ready. But,
ideal.
Yeah, but you've got to win every game to win the Premier League. So you can't. You've just got to go game by game at this